The Hangman joins me from his home in New Zealand. Thank you, Dan, for the time, man.
Straight off
Big,
the couch.
big, exactly, straight off the couch. Now, I want to go back, man. Let's rewind this a little bit. You did an interview with Submission Radio a few weeks back, and you revealed that you accepted a fight and you were in camp. What took so long to get this Michael Chandler fight together for UFC 257?
I think they were trying to just get other people to take the fight is what the holdup was. I heard like real early on that they were trying to get trying to get Gaethje to take it, and then when Dana announced the fight, Dana announces it as, oh, we tried to get Olivera to take the fight, but he didn't take it, so now Hooker's taking it. And then people asking me, so it's short notice. They try. I was like, nah, bro, I've been in camp. I've been in camp for a while. I'm coming in ready for this. So yeah, it's pretty much, I got approached about this fight a while back. They told me, I think all up, like usually I'll do like an 8-week camp. I missed like one training session leading up to that. So it's been like a full camp. Like it's a full camp.
Now, you mentioned before they hooked you up with Chandler, he was offered, I think he was offered Ferguson even before that, right? And then Ferguson took that fight with Olivera. That didn't work out too well for Ferguson. And then Gaethje was offered to Chandler, and looks like Gaethje didn't want the fight. And then Olivera was offered after he beat Ferguson. Why do you think they curved or avoided Chandler, these other fighters?
Um, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure, to be honest. The UFC is putting, well, it just shows like how much stock I think they just wanted to get him to a title shot like as quickly as possible. And like anyone that's been following the sport for a good amount of time knows that the danger lies in time. Father Time and this sport are not your friend. You know what I mean? Like the hardest part, like they want him to come in and look like the man, So if he comes in, he whitewashes a top 5, top 4, top 3 opponent, then people would start going title shot, title shot, title shot. Because like 95% of people that watch it are like lazy. They'll only watch like the highlight reel in the build up to the fight. So they'll be like, whoa, he's a former champ in a other organization. He came in and beat the top 5. Oh, now he's fighting for a title. They're not gonna actually go back and watch his fights, right? Or like look and delve into. There's like 5% of people that like really study the sport, really watch the sport, and really like research the sport. Like the danger lies in getting to the top 5. Like if you were to put him against like anyone else has come up in the UFC, like top 50, then a top 30, then a top 20, then a top 10, like 15, like then his chances of losing skyrocket like exponentially. But so it's like the quicker they could get him to a title, the quicker they could market him and sell him. Like to me, it's, yeah, like they're gonna give me the new toy. Like I'm gonna break the new toy real quick. Like that's they invested like a whole lot of money to get this guy out of his contract and get him over to the UFC, and they're gonna throw him in with me, who's like a bad stylistic matchup, and I'm gonna like break the toy in 5 minutes. Like, yeah, I can't say I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, it almost seems like you're perfectly built, not just inside the cage, but outside the cage to spoil the party, so to say.
Yeah, like man, for this, I like this fight. To me, like I like this fight. It was taking, I accepted it straight away. I said, yeah, man, I'm in, gang. Um, they took their time. They took their time. They took their time. I've been just grinding away, and I was starting to get worried that someone else was going to take the fight, or this fight was going to fall through. And I was like, and it's at that point when you're like, realize like, man, I actually really like, I'm really looking forward to this fight. Like, once I studied him and I went back and I looked at how we matched up, like, man, I'm happy with this fight. I think it's going to be I think it's a good fight for me to really, really showcase my skills. So, yeah, I would have been gutted if they handed this fight to someone else.
You know it's a stylistic nightmare, and he actually admits it's not a good stylistic matchup for himself. And it seems like, he was trying to target these other fighters, right? And he said, Ferguson, Gaethje, Poirier, I'm a stylistic nightmare for them. So do you feel like maybe he was forced into this fight, man, somewhat? That's what I get that feeling when I read too much into it.
Like he would have, because he came in with like so much hype and so many people like beating that drum and putting him as the backup for the title. So then ever since then, I guess people have just been like, whoa, who are you fighting then? Where's your fight? Where's your fight? Where's your fight? So it's like, they just, that's all that's how the sport operates. Like you just chop down the list until someone says yes. That's, that's like the business behind this. So yeah, you just have to be ready for the opportunity. I dropped at number 6. I dropped at myself, and I said yes to the fight straight away.
Definitely. Well, you've been doing that for a while, so it's nothing new to you. You've been chopping down on that list, and you've gotten the fights that you wanted, and this is a fight you wanted. You're getting it. In terms of advancing your career and getting that title around your waist, is this the fight? Is this the biggest fight?
Yeah, like they showed that by putting him as the backup for the title, like how much stock the UFC puts into him. They put him on they made sure that he's on the McGregor undercard, like, so these are 2 of the biggest fights for the lightweight division, and they're putting him as close to them as they possibly can. And so that shows what it is. That shows that he's in the mix. That means if I go out there and demolish him, then I'm back in the mix.
You got Khabib, he says he's retired. Dana says he's not. Do you know anything about the situation we don't know?
Nah, I know you guys know more than I do. I think everyone in the media game knows a lot more than we do. I like, from my perspective, from the outside looking in, it's he's a Muslim champ. The UFC's doing a lot of business in the UAE at the moment, which is a Muslim country. So it's like, that's like their guy. Like, the UAE. They want the people there. They want to get behind and support one of their own, or another Muslim being successful, being an undefeated world champion. So then, if he steps away from the sport, it's kind of, who do they get behind? Who fills that void for the UFC? So I think that's yeah, it's all business at the end of the day.
Well, you got Hamzat. It seems like everybody's got this conspiracy theory that that's why they're pushing Hamzat.
Yeah, could be for sure. Like, get in there as quickly as they possibly can. I know obviously they tried to make the move with get Islam to fill that void before Khabib stepped away from the limelight. Get him to that spot, but obviously, like, injuries and not being able to make fights really hampered that.
Now, as a contender in the division, he's retired, he's not retired, does that get annoying at any point? Because you want that belt.
Yeah, but I'm not like there at the moment. So if I was in, if I had knocked Poirier out in the second round, and I was fighting someone in the main event of this card, as fighting Conor McGregor, I would want it to be for the title. I would be screaming at the UFC to make this for the title. So, because I'm not there, and it doesn't affect me, I don't really care. So it's just human nature. You care about the things that directly affect you.
I'm very surprised that Conor and Dustin, they're not screaming for the title. They're not more vocal in the media about this should be for the title, and it's confusing in some ways.
Because them boys getting paid. Because them boys cutting a check. Dustin Poirier is cutting a check. Conor McGregor is cutting a check. There's 2 ways you make any real money in the sport is have that gold strap wrapped around your waist and get the pay-per-view dollars, or fight Conor McGregor. Those are the 2 ways that you change your life in this game.
Yeah, and the fight between Conor and Dustin, it's a big fight no matter what, but should they put a vacant title on it? Because I saw something about the UFC Twitter account. They were advertising it as a title fight. Maybe they're doing it. Maybe they're gonna do it in the week leading up. I don't know, because they could do it at any moment, right?
Yeah, they could. I definitely feel like it should be for the title. It makes the most sense. Dustin's coming off a title loss, a win. Could turn around. Conor McGregor coming off a win against Cowboy after a loss to the title. Like, it makes sense. They're the only guys in that spot coming off wins. That makes sense. It's like Gaethje's hanging out for a title, but it doesn't really. You can't fight for a title coming off a loss. So this fight to me makes the most sense. It makes sense to make it for the belt for sure.
CKB, you guys are extremely busy at the moment. You know, what I mean, you guys are getting ready for many fights, many big fights. So who are you going to take with you to Fight Island? Because it's not like it used to be where you could take your corners and come back a couple days later. Like, you got these quarantines and stuff going on.
Yeah, no. So there's like a new system in New Zealand as well. So it's not even like it was where we could fly over, come back, and then do a 2-week quarantine. So that's like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks all up. Like, that's not now. Like, at the time, I was like, man, that sucks. That's forever. And now, so after my fight, I'm staying in Abu Dhabi for another month before I can, because you need like a voucher. New Zealand has like this new voucher system, so you need a voucher to book your place in isolation, but it gets booked out like months in advance. So it got booked out. So I have to wait till February 21st before I can come back into New Zealand. So it's going to be a 7.5 week or an 8 week, 2 month, a 2 month trip for me.
That's why the tweet, right? The tweet that you put out asking the random question.
Yeah, like, well, the UFC's come back to me and they're like, we can take you back to Vegas or whatever. But it's like I've spent a lot of time in Vegas. I spent a lot of time at the PI. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool on the other hand to still be able to travel at this time. Like, I think it was my missus that said it to me. She's like, what are you so complainative about? Like, why are you complaining about it? She's like, who else gets to travel the world at this time? Like, you've never been. I've passed through the UAE, but I've never spent like a good amount of time there. So to spend a month there, just traveling and exploring, and it seems to be that the UAE is like opening up. And it's back to normal there, and they're doing a pretty good job with COVID. So it'll be good to get out there and travel and explore. So yeah, kind of changed my tune on that a little bit.
Yeah, sometimes you need that talk from the missus, right?
Pull your head in. She gives me the pull your head in, stop complaining, chat every now and then.
Definitely. So who are you taking with you then? Like, because I saw online that you're taking someone from another team, or is that even real?
I'm taking so I'm meeting George Hickman. I trained with George a lot when I was over at Tiger Muay Thai. You know, he's a head coach of Tiger Muay Thai. I've trained with him a lot. He's a very experienced coach, so he'll be able to. I'm blessed that he's there as well. I think Khalil Roundtree's fighting on the card as well, so I'll be able to steal him fight week and steal him after Khalil fights, and he'll be able to help me out in the corner. But I'm taking a young fella from my gym, so a good training partner of mine. So I'm just taking him as a training partner with me, and then have George come over and jump in. But you know, all the I feel like 99% of the work will be done before I get on that plane. Like, you know, the game plan, and I know what I need to do. I know how I need to perform. If I just go out there and fight smart and perform the way I know I'm capable of, it'll have like no real impact. But yeah, people are like, oh no, but it's like I had like huge Andre, Mike, like I had a good corner team for my last fight and just fought like dog shit anyway. So I don't think it's I think preferably I would like them to be there, but Yeah, I got a bit of a point to prove that I am capable of performing the way I know I can.
Yeah, I think a lot of people they read too much into that. A lot of the times, it's like, oh, this person's not in the corner, this person's not there during fight week, and you've seen it with Mike Perry. You can perform with your girlfriend in the corner.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm not quite doing the Mike Perry.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
of course.
quite. I'm not like at that level of confidence just to take
Yeah,
the missus over and chuck her in the corner to yell out advice. But so I'm still like I'm confident in my
yeah.
team. You know that I'm taking with me.
Now you're coming off two 5 round fight of the year contenders in 2020. It must be nice to enter 2021 with a 3 rounder, right? To kick it off.
Holiday. I'm in cruise mode. Nah. I've been like yeah. Those 5 round. It's not even the fight. Like it's those 5 round spiders and the
Mm.
extra sparring rounds that you got to do for a 5 round fight. That really like man, going back to a 3 round spider is like holiday. That's like those last two you really got to get out. So you know, this has been a great camp for me. You know, doing that against a guy like Dustin with a great tank, 5 rounds, in the circumstances we were training under, you know, with the everything being locked down in New Zealand and all the gyms being closed, there was comparing the preparation for that fight with the preparation for this fight is yeah, it's to be honest, it's like pretty hard to compare the two because this fight has been we're back to normal in New Zealand. I've had all my training partners, kind of everyone, you know, I usually look after all my fighters at my gym as well, but they all take Christmas off and New Year's off and they're all on holiday. So I've really just been able to focus on myself for this fight. And I feel like I notice a difference 100%. Like, I'm a lot, yeah, I'm in good nick for this fight. I'm in real good shape and it's a 3 rounder. So I'm looking forward to being able to just match that pace. Like Chandler brings a hard pace, but I will definitely be able to match that pace and see who fades first.
So, you seem laser focused when you lay down, when you lay your head down and envision this fight. Like, how do you see it?
Uh, yeah, like it's gonna be. I'm interested to see what he did. Like he usually just comes out guns blazing on a front foot pressure, but I like that. I like that. You're gonna come to me. You know, you're gonna dip your head. You're gonna shoot him for takedowns. Like I just gotta. You're taking a lot of yeah, you're taking like a lot of the monkey work out of it for me is like picking someone off until they do that, until they start trying to get in your face. If he's just gonna do it off the bat, um, he's gonna I just gotta set the traps, you know what I mean? I just gotta throw a few landmines down there and see what he runs into.
UFC 257 is a big weekend. It's a Conor McGregor pay-per-view. We don't even have to explain what that means. The magnitude of the moment is major. It has a major impact on where you sit in the title picture. You take out Chandler, you're screaming for the winner of Poirier McGregor. Is that what you want?
Um, like we're definitely on the card to back up that fight. You know what I mean? Like it's a funny circumstance at the moment. Like people coming from different parts of the world, traveling. I know if like Dustin trains in Florida, that's like the Wild West for COVID from what from what you read online. Like the UFC need, you know, they need to have a backup for this fight. Like that's what we're here for. That's I'll be lying if I saying that's not a big reason why I jumped at the opportunity to be on this, to not only fight Michael Chandler but to be on this card and to have that possibility of winning. That's the McGregor roulette, baby. You're gonna have a chance at winning the McGregor roulette. That's like he's not lying when he said that. Like find him and get the red panties out because it's gonna change your life. Like you as a fighter, like you're winning for a bout. Like you'll do anything for that fight. Like you jump on any opportunity. So I can't say that that's not like it's a big green light for me to be on being able to back up that fight.
No doubt. Well, January 23rd, UFC 257. It's only a few weeks away, man. They're kicking off 2021 major, man, with this card, and you're a part of it, man. I'm glad you're getting this opportunity, Dan. Thank you so much for the time, and good luck and all the best.
Thank you, brother. Anytime. I've always got time for you, my friend.
Take a move in the ring. You can hit me with the words you fling.